you actually tired or you're burnt out? Hi, in case you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Tosi. On here, I do videos on self improvement, self development, everything nice. And I'm sure you want to subscribe. And in case you've been here before, you already know. You are welcome back, Maruji. I'm so happy to have you here once again. Today, we're going to be talking on signs of burnout. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So, if you've noticed that lately you've been extremely tired, right? You just don't want to do anything, you are just really and actually tired. It just really means that you're burnt out, and there is severe burnout. And I feel like a lot of us don't pay attention to it, right? When our body, our mind, and everything is asking us to pause, we just don't pause, and we hit that rock bottom real hard and real bad. Let me tell you something. When you experience severe burnout, trust me, it's something that you actually don't want to experience, because I've been there and I know what it is like. So I thought, you know what, why don't I just talk about the signs, just general signs, right? So there's emotional burnt out, physical burnt out, mental burnt out, yes, and there's behavioral burnout. It's burnout. Have I been saying burnt out since? But anywho, burnout. So yeah, so we're going to be talking just simple signs today, right? There is all those burnout that I talked about. I'm not picking that one by one. Maybe I will like to do like a follow-up video of burnout, but I just want to talk about the simple signs that I feel like a lot of us don't pay attention to. First one is heavy tiredness and fatigue. Now it is very different from the fact that, oh, you went out, right, you are back and you're tired, or you've done something very tedious, that day you're just tired. Now this is you being tired of everything. You're tired of your environment, you're tired of things that are happening around you, you're tired of the people that you see. Yes, there's something like that. I've gone through it. I went through my severe burnout last year, the end of last year, in the community December, to the extent that I didn't want to be around people, right? I didn't go anywhere in December. I did not go anywhere. I was around my family, which I would tell you was the best thing, like literally the best thing. It wasn't what I envisioned to have for December, but same with my family was just like the best thing. Over the years, I always go out and all that, but I was really burnt out. I didn't even make my hair. You know when they say, "Oh, this is my December hair." I didn't make my hair. I think I did one more twist with my normal hair. Like I was burnt out, and it was showing in the way that I look, the way I was thinking. So I was tired of the people around me, my environment. I'm not going to lie, I really was. When you're in that space where you feel like, oh, I wake up to the same thing every day, where I'm just really tired of this. Can I have something new? Can I have something distracting me? Right? I was really, really tired. You're just really tired about your environment, the things that you do. You kind of feel like you're living the same thing every day, which that might actually seem to be true, but it is in your hands to make it seem different from yesterday, right? So to the little things, the things that you do, right? A lot of things that you can do to make your day not seem like the same thing. You're doing the same thing all over and over and over again, and it starts with your mindset, right? So this is tiredness of everything. You might actually feel like your body's weak to do certain things that you used to do. I felt like I didn't want to film. I didn't want to go about my business. I didn't want to do anything, right? It's just heavy tiredness and fatigue. You just feel tired of everything and you don't want to do anything. We're going to get into that later on, but the first thing you need to see about yourself is the first sign that you get when you're burnt out is just heavy tiredness. You're just tired. You're tired of every single thing. You wake up and you're like, oh, it's another day to do what? To do the same thing. I've been there. I understand what I'm saying, right? And I didn't know at the time that it was burnout. I just really felt, oh, maybe it's just one of those moods. No, it wasn't that mood, right? And I noticed that I was getting to that point bit by bit, but I wasn't taking like a pause to like refresh my mind, to refill my energy, to, do a lot of things, right? And like I said, maybe there will be follow up videos on how you can go through burnout and all that. So you need to pay attention to, are you really, really tired because you've been out all day, or you're just really tired of your environment? You're tired of the people. You just feel like you see the same thing every day. You do the same thing every day, right? And that can start from, let me just give you guys like a few things that you can do, right, that can make your life feel different. Or let's put it that way, like if you're tired of certain things, let's say you're tired of your environment, right? Why don't you start to do something different with your environment? So now you are staying around people, you can't change the people that you stay around, obviously, but if you have the capacity to, move, right, to a different place, why don't you, right, if you have the capacity to? But for me, because I don't have the capacity to, or I didn't have the capacity to move, I started going out, right? I figured that I was always indoors, so I started going out, just outside my environment. I could just go outside the gate and just sit down and look at the birds that are flying. Like I literally started doing that because I felt like I was doing the same thing every day, sit down, editing, doing all that. So I started leaning in more into um playing with my niece and nephews. I do that, right? But wasn't doing with intentionality. So sometimes I will go downstairs, play with them just to have something different. Or sometimes I will go and just put on the TV, right? I started doing something that was different from what I used to do normally, right? So that's like just an example. If you're tired of your environment or something, like go out, go to somewhere different and just come back. If it's just a day or two where you just go to a place where you just sit. The best thing I did for myself was to was my birthday, where I took like a day to just be by myself, 2 days to just be by myself, and literally is the best thing. So if you don't have the capacity to book yourself an hotel, if you're burnt out and you feel like you're on a go, book yourself an hotel room and just be there. Best thing you ever do. I think I've spent so much time on this point, but yeah, I'm just coming here to give you like the signs, not to give you like what you can do, but I will try to see if I can do like a follow-up video on that. Then the next one is getting easily irritated by things. I mentioned in the first thing, in the first tip, where I said that you just feel like, oh, I'm waking up again to do the same thing again. Oh God, things like that. But the signs you get are, you snap at any little thing, you're angry at any little thing, you just, someone just says something and you're like, don't annoy me, right? Now this is something that I feel like everything I'm saying here are actually what I felt like I went through. And I was just really snapping. Why am I snapping, right? At first I thought it was, almost my period is coming out, and later I'm like, no, it's not. Or I just finished. So why am I snappy? And then I just started to be honest, I researched like, why am I snapping? I'm easily irritated by things. I get angry at every little thing. Not really angry, because I'm not the type to always get angry, but I get pissed off by every little thing. And I was like, why am I pissed off, right? About my environment? Why am I pissed off about, you know, waking up to little things that are blessing to me? Why am I pissed off to the things that I know deep down that it is God's grace that has got me here, right? There are certain things that I do that I know that I prayed for, right? And now that I have it, why am I easily just irritated by it? Why am I angry, right? Why am I feeling like you're annoying me? Things are just irritating me. It was really bad to the extent that I could be editing a video and something would just happen, and maybe the video will not be edited right or something. Maybe I do like a mistake and I'm just like, what is wrong with you, to see you knew this is what you're supposed to do. And I don't talk to myself like that. And I just started to, figure out that, okay, now this something is wrong somewhere, right? And I started to, be gentle with myself, don't get irritated. When I snap at people, I think about it, I'm like, no, you're not like that. Why are you doing that? I go back and I think about it, I'm like, okay, I wasn't supposed to do this. I'm sorry. Right? So you easily get snapped, you easily get angry, you easily just like, stop doing that, you're irritating me, right? Things like that. So that's another sign that you need to pay attention to. You're actually really just hitting burnout, and you need to start to be coming down. Yes, one is little or no motivation. Now, this is very simple, right? For me, it was, I didn't want to sit down to film videos. I had a plan that I was going to do vlogmas for December, but I had it all topic, everything all down, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to sit down. I didn't want to film videos. I didn't even want to edit. I could tell you that I literally like deleted five or thereabouts raw content that I did. I didn't like it. I just felt I'm not looking good. Like I said, irritation. I'm not looking good in this video. Pam pam, deleted. The next thing, I could just watch myself saying something. I'm like, no, that is wrong, deleted. And I'm always like, I make a lot of English mistake in some of my videos, and I still edit them and post them. But that one really was irritating me, right? So it's little to no motivation. You don't have motivation to continue to do that thing that you always want to do. That job, you prayed for that job, and all of a sudden you don't want to go for that job, right? That job has paid your bills, that job has been nice to you. You all of a sudden don't want to go, you just don't feel motivated to work, right? You don't, to the extent that some people actually get to the point where they want to quit, right? Their job. Don't quit yet. It's just burnt out. You're just burnt out. You need to think more about it, right? So little or no motivation. You don't want to do anything. You really don't want to stand up. You really don't want to put your effort into things because you feel like, oh, I've been putting my effort into things. So what has this got me? I remember during that period there was a video. I can't remember. I think videos that I filmed back to back at the time, and for 3 days a particular video was on 10 views, and I was so irritated. That was one of the reasons why I was not motivated. I didn't want to film videos because at the end of the day, I'm like, if I film this video, it's going to get me 10 likes. I mean, the last one I did, 10 views. The last one I did, it was 10 views, and a whole lot of things, right? And it took me time to come back from this burnout, which the whole of January and February I didn't film. I came back to doing content by March, right? Which is almost like the half quarter of the end of the first quarter of the year, right? So I know what it means like to have severe burnout. And like I said, you have no little or no motivation. You don't want to go to work, you don't want to go by your business, you don't want to sit down and film content, you don't want to do anything. Like, you just really just want to sit and just be by yourself, thinking nothing. Just thinking that your life is, it's just the end, and it's actually not the end. Like I said, there's going to be like I was trying to see if I can do like a follow-up video on how you can come out of burnout and all that, right? But let me just put this out there: motivation, little or no motivation, you going to that job, you going to your business, sitting filming content or following your career, whatever it might be, it's not going to help you. Now, what that really is just telling you is you need to pause. You need to take care of yourself. You need to pause, and you need to re-strategize. You need to think of the way to move forward. Now, you can't say you're burned out, you sit down there, you're not motivated, right? And you don't sit down to refer yourself. You don't sit down to think about, okay, what is the next thing? Me sitting down here and not feeling like I want to do anything is not what is um best for me. So what is the next thing? What's the solution? Right? I want to have three plans: plan A, plan B, plan C. It's very important. Like I said, there will be follow-up video. So now the next one is sleeping too much or not wanting to sleep at all, not having not feeling sleepy, let's put it that way. So now when you are very burned out, you're tired, you don't want to do anything, it's easy for you to be lazy, it's easy for you to want to sleep. And the funny part about that is that you do that for a week, 2 weeks, 5 days, 10 days, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. I know you've heard this before. Time doesn't wait for anybody. It clicks, it moves, right? So take your time to get better. Take your time to, you know, come back from that burnout or whatever it might be. But just know that time is going, right? It's not to rush you or anything, but just know that time is going. So the sign that you see is you're sleeping too much. You feel like sleep is your escape, right? You feel like if I just sleep, I won't have to deal with the fact that I'm irritated, I won't have to deal with the fact that I'm tired. But the funny part is that when you wake up, you're tired again. So sleeping too much or not wanting to sleep at all, you find yourself having insomnia, like you're just, your eyes are very open during the day, during the night you just scroll online unnecessarily. I during my own period, I was scrolling online. I remember one day I scrolled online till past 2 a.m. I think that was the day I was like, no, this is not good for you to see, you know. You just scroll, you just really feel like that's my escape, you know. Let me just look at what other people are doing with their lives. Maybe it will make me feel better. And you scroll and you know, scroll and scroll and scroll and you lose sleep. Is a whole lot, right? And if you find yourself sleeping too much, like I said, it's just you thinking, your mind and your brain thinking that okay, the best thing I can do now is to just sleep. The last one is detaching from people, right? Detaching from your environment and everything. You really just want to be by yourself. Like I mentioned in December, I had plans that I was going to go out with my friends and all that. So being the planner of the friend group, you know, if I don't say, okay, let's go to, yeah, we're not going anywhere. And which was what happened. So maybe if someone else had planned it, I would have really gone out and be around people. But at the time, I didn't want to be around anybody. I actually did not even want to be around my family, if I'm being honest, right? But I didn't have a choice than to be around my family. I actually wanted to book like an hotel and just be by myself, but it's the celebration, right? It was the festive period, sorry, and I like to spend festive period with my family for some reasons, especially Christmas, because I know that it will get to the point in my life where I won't have the opportunity to spend it with them, you know. So I take it very seriously to spend Christmas and New Year with my family. And I was just like, I don't feel like spending it with them this year. Honestly, I was like, I've been spending with them every year. So I don't think I want it this year. A sign of burnout. And I was like, even my friends, I don't want to be around anybody. I want to be by myself. I just really want to be myself. I don't want anybody to talk to me. I don't want to talk to anybody, right? But that was impossible for me because at the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't right. I knew something was wrong with me, but I had to spend time with my family, obviously, right? So that was the best thing, like I said. But if you notice that you just want to be by yourself, you're isolating yourself intentionally, you are detaching yourself from people and all that, you are actually burnt out, right? Now, I think I didn't start by saying that burnout is you experiencing tiredness in everything that you do in your life. All right, you're experiencing that, oh, I've been doing this all year, all my life, I want something new. That was my own, you know, I wanted something new, I want something different. Even if it's just one part of my life, can it just be different, can it just be new, right? That's when you start experiencing burnout. So it's always very important to pay attention to what happens and what goes on around you. Burnout, severe burnout, is something that you really don't want to experience. And you need to pay attention to your body when it's telling you that I need rest, I need to chill, I need to be refreshed, I need new plans, right? I need new strategies, I need new life. You need to pay very much attention to that. So yeah, we've come to the end of this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please share this video to someone that you feel might need it. Please leave me a comment and subscribe if you've not joined the family. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.